Well, hello, everybody. How are you on this fantastic Wednesday afternoon? Yes, we're a little bit later than usual, but that's because Dennis had some stuff to do earlier today, and we are always accommodating. Don't let Dennis fool you and tell you I'm not. I am so damn accommodating, it's not even funny. Um,
It is
and he's
Wednesday,
laughing.
everybody.
It's
Hey,
not funny.
it is funny.
Randy Howell in the house. Dan Genovese, hello. Uh, let's see, Marcus Kellergrew, Devil Flyer. What is up, everybody? We do have a guest today we'll bring in a moment. Yeah, I mean, it's a cloudy day here in Charlotte, North Carolina, but that's okay because it's kind of warm and I do enjoy the warmth. Christopher Bouchard, hello. So there you go. It's we're separate today because Dennis had his stuff he had to do, and like a lazy bum, didn't want to drive over here, So no Wednesday dinner as usual. Dennis throws a freaking monkey wrench in everything.
Wow, I see how everything's being dropped on me. I think we can blame my wife on this one.
Oh, I didn't want to say what you were doing, but now that you did, way to schedule an appointment on a Wednesday. Like she doesn't know what we do on Wednesdays.
She didn't have a choice. The hospital schedules the procedures. When they schedule, they don't give you an option. They say you be here at this time. So it just wound up being, I didn't know I had to take her to the appointment until not too long ago. And then I was like, uh-oh, well, this is going to cause a wrench. So we'll be bringing in Zackary, but a big shout out to him for rearranging his schedule to make sure that this all works. So it is what it is. But on the good news, I was able to swing by the comic book store on the way home from the hospital in order to pick up my Wednesday books. So all is well that ends well.
That's right. And, without further ado, we will bring in our guest now. Mr. Zackary, I'm not pronouncing your last name because I probably screwed it up last time. How do you say it?
It's Marois.
Marois. There you go. Zackary Marois. Okay, so hold on. So, guys, we do have a guest today. It's fantastic. Zackary Marois. We're going to bring him in now. It's good seeing you for the first time today, Zackary.
Thanks for having me on.
I see you're not alone. Who is the little helper?
This is my daughter. She's 6 months now, and she's got a long name. There's a little sci-fi element into her name that I wanted when I was trying to figure out a name. So her first name is Rilen Sidra, and that's just her first name. And then her middle name's Nicole, but then her last name's like Haywood Baptiste Jr.
Wow. So in school, she's going to go by Nicole's what I'm hearing.
I hope not. It's kind of like, I don't know, if people like, if she don't like people and she don't know them, be like, my first name is Rilen Sidra, and then people that she's cool with, it's just Rilen or something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
So she's only 6 months old. Dennis and I both have kids, but they're 20 and his are older 20s. I do remember 6 months though. Obviously, you call them by their name. Do you shorten it, like you said, Relend, or do you go full boat?
It's like if she acts up, I'll go full name. And then, if I'm just, chilling or whatever with her, it's just Relend. What is cool though is that, I'll be drawing and she'll be on my lap and I'll be sketching. Or if I'm reading a comic book and, she's like, her fingers start moving, it's just like her eyes start widening up. And what is it? I was reading some of the Neil Adams covers that he did for Superman, which is like somewhere between like issue 200 or like 280. And there was a cover where I think it was like Superman kissing Star Sapphire's feet. It was my favorite Superman cover when I was a kid looking at. And her eyes were just like glowed right up and she was trying to grab the book, but I was showing her panels and whatnot. So I think I'm doing a good job right now.
No, that's cool. That reminds me when Dennis comes over on Wednesday to do the show, normally I try to stop drawing before, because if I don't, he comes over to my desk, his eyes widen, he starts to finger the page and stuff. And I'm like, my God, this is why I have to stop drawing before you come over. You act like a 6-month-old.
Yeah, but the best part is before I do it, I'm eating Cheetos. So your fingers are all orange, and I go to grab them, and he's like, no. For some reason, he doesn't want Chester Cheeto all over the artwork. I don't understand it.
No, I don't. Corey Barton's in the house. Hello, Corey.
Oh, dude, I
Shadow.
just saw Corey's art. Like, I was introduced to it like a couple weeks ago. Blew my mind. I was, oh my
Yeah.
God. I love his stuff.
Shout out, sign up for Corey's new campaign coming soon. The name is escaping me right now, unfortunately, but I know our moderators are on the ball, and I'm sure we'll post a link for it. So
yeah,
sign up
and
for
they're
that.
here mainly because we're at a, like I said, a later time than normal, and everybody was accommodating. So we hate going up against the graybeards. You know, we like to be done, and then everybody.
Well, they don't start till 5.
Oh,
they start at 5 now.
So we're good. All right, we are good.
Yeah, we're good. Oh, there's the name, Corey. Thank you. And Drominoids. There it is. Go sign up. Like I said, I'm sure Randy will be posting the link for that rather soon. I've already signed up for it. So there you go. Well, nice. So I got a fun little story I'll share. Oh, we're gonna talk about that. That's not a fun story.
Let's just bring this up, guys. This is a little bit of sad news. In case you didn't hear, maybe it's breaking. Richard Lewis. They said curb your enthusiasm. You know, I don't know. Robin Hood. There's so many things. Richard Lewis was great. He died from a heart attack today. And 76 years old. He was fantastic. I loved his stand-up. And I think there's a lot of us out there. 76 is too young for great talent like that.
Wow, 76 is. He was so funny. I loved his stand-up routine and stuff.
Yeah, and he was so dry and everything like that. In his delivery, he could be so deadpan. I just loved him in everything that he did. So yeah, I heard about that literally right when I walked in the door here, and I'm like, no.
This is going to be a controversial take, but isn't like once you're in your 70s, isn't that a good point just to like die? Like, because I feel like you're so limited. You're so limited to do like things in general in your life that I'm like, I'm sorry if I'm old enough to the point I can't do things, like just kill me.
Yeah, but okay. See, what are you talking? How old are you for one? I can't remember.
I'm 28.
Okay, you're 28. So you're as old as one of Dennis's kids. Okay,
right.
So it's easy for a 28-year-old to go 70 so far away. It's fine to punch the ticket, but we're 54, so no. And
yeah.
And the other thing is,
got a long way to go.
Dude. See, there's the thing. It's like the reason you want to do. And I'm not saying you have to. I don't eat 100% perfectly clean by any amount. I like to have beer, whatever, but I do work out. I already have, and I have my whole life. I don't work out anymore for like, I want to get huge and push lots of weight. I work out now, and this, I'm not making a joke, for later in life, I can keep moving easily and stuff. Cause my mom's 80, 84, and I see how she moves. And my dad, he unfortunately passed away at 76, but he was still in pretty good shape. He walked a lot and everything. So I know what you're saying, but I honestly think I would knock on wood, because I don't want at 85, like, to hear a voice and go, you said 85 or up, it's your time. But I think 85, I think that's a good run. I think anything below 80 these days is too soon. Now, maybe 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 76 was, people would go, wow, that was a long run. But I don't know. I think 80 is still too soon.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
was gonna
I'm
say
probably
this is not Logan's Run here. You know, when you hit that age, you just don't punch your ticket and move on. So Zackary, this is going to blow your mind. My grandmother was 93, still living on her own in her own house, and every week she would drive to the old folks' home to play canasta, Scrabble, and Royal Rummy with the old people at 93. She lived to 100. So I am glad she didn't hear this conversation.
Yeah.
I just like I see so many like I guess you could say it's, social media or just like, things that I've seen personally. I'm like, I see so many like old people and stuff, just so, extremely restricted. And I'm like, man, at that point, if I'm at that age, I just want to be like, just let me go, I don't
Well,
want
I
to
mean,
be.
I think if you're, whatever age, 76, 80 something, but if you're extremely restricted, like you're saying, like, bound to like a chair and you need like a walker and stuff like that, hell, at that point, you might be waking up every day going, oh man, oh, I felt that. I woke up again. Damn it. This isn't a dream, you know?
Randy, it will be the Soylent Green factory for all of us.
Yeah.
No, that's a
Yeah.
bad thought. Damn, what's that in my Oh, that tasted like Andy. That's terrible. Oh man.
What are you talking about? We've been in a hotel room together, and the next morning you do that. And I'm
Oh,
like,
oh
what
stop.
happened when I was sleeping?
Oh
you
my
know,
god.
the one thing I do think for me is like really sad for me is seeing so many legends in the industry, just like going like, and it's like it's been more and more for the past like 5 6 years, and it just sucks. I'm like, man, because I remember meeting like a good portion of creators that's been working in the industry for so long. And yeah, I remember younger me having photos with them, and then hearing, I won't find out until I buy a local comic, the new comic every Wednesday or something, and then I see a page that says "Rest in peace,
Oh,
this
right.
individual." I'm like, damn, dude, that's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. Ramona Ferdon just passed away. Now she was 97. So I do kind of have this rule where if you make it past 95 and you pass away, I don't get super sad about it because you had such a long and a great run. And no matter who you are, it's like that to me, 95 on up, that's just an achievement. Big slow clap for it. She was a great artist. Um, and she had a hell of a run. And she officially announced her retirement in January from doing commissions. So it's, she didn't have a long retirement, but I'm sure she wasn't working 40 hours a week on commission. So
I
she
saw
was
that
great.
stuff. I heard something recently, and I really hope it's not a legit thing. I hope it's just like clickbait stuff where it was like somebody on the like the evil council wants to go ahead and you know um, uh up the age for retirement now, and I was like, what? How up the age of retirement to like 70 years old or something like that, and I'm like, that can't be right. That can't be right.
Well, so here's the thing. So we might uh, because I like 65 because, it's only about 10 years away, 10 and change. But at the same time, I mean, I wouldn't go above 70, but if they upped it to 70 because a lot of people are still active and stuff, you know, I'm not going to I'm not going to be like, "Oh, you sons of bitches." I mean, Dennis and I when we're 65 in 10 years will be lucky if it's like, getting social security.
Yeah, there won't be any. Matter of fact, I'm just hoping I'm in one of those 55 plus communities with my golf cart and driving around everywhere and then playing some D&D and some other games, on all night long, smoking cigars, drinking, playing poker. I mean, this is what those years should be.
Now, see, I think I need to find a new co-creator partner for Kor-Drath, because what Dennis should have said was, I'm just hoping at that age I'm rolling in a Mac Daddy car at my big ass house that Kor-Drath bought because the movie rights blew up and we're working on the fourth sequel at this point. It's the John Wick of Barbarian movies. That's what you should have said. Not 55 retirement community with a
what are you
golf
talking
cart.
about? That is 50, the retirement community on there. Mac Daddy. Yeah, we've got our rights down. It's all paid for. Now it's on Easy Street. And then I can write Kor-Drath in the middle of the night.
Oh, no. At 65, I don't want to be drawing it anymore. Now, if you want to write it for somebody else, that's fine. I want it to be so successful by then that we're just counting money and we could pay somebody else, some young guy like Zach. Because think about it. This is what's sad. When we're 65, this gentleman here is only going to be 38.
He's going to be halfway to his expiration point, according to him.
Well,
right.
Apply that logic to what I think it was what Chuck Dixon posted on a Twitter, and I was either him or Graham Nolan, where they talk about guys around my age has a shelf life, and the older you get, you're going to start to exit that opportunity for your shelf life in the industry. And I
Sure.
couldn't agree more to that post,
Yeah.
which is why somebody my age, we have to take as much as we can, so that way we can get as much published and stuff, so that because it's going to start to slow down, because whatever
But
life
that was true. I mean, that was true. I think that's true for every artist that's working, for Marvel and DC right now. They might not realize it. Oh, they've got a shelf life. And now if you're one of the, like Jorge Jimenez, who's one of the big guys at DC right now, does Batman stuff, fantastic work. He has a shelf life. The difference is if he plays his cards right and can ride out that popularity, he can go on to doing his own stuff a lot easier and whatnot. But I mean, the guys, I think the generation that didn't have that shelf life were the guys like the John Buscema's, the Gil Kanes, that generation of artists, because comics were so different during that time that those guys could work for Marvel or DC until basically they said, I'm going to retire, or they passed away. Now you're lucky, if you get a good, 15 years at one of those companies, before it's like, crap, I got to move on. I mean, I got about 23 mainstream before I had to branch off and stuff. 24 years, maybe 25, that's a hell of a run. But yeah, I mean, everybody definitely has a shelf life these days. I think though, for somebody your age and, doing what you're doing and stuff, you just have to, it's a lot of hard work, but it's your own thing. And if you just keep nose to the grindstone and keep building, it'll probably be more beneficial. So,
yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
So Marcus brings up point. Do you want to draw for mainstream at this point? And that's the question. I mean, the industry is changing. Now I'm going to show you guys a couple of things because we do love talking about independent creators. But every once in a while, and as you guys know, I put up my quick flips on the DNA channel, throughout the week as I get my new comic books. So this week we got two good ones. This one is the Savage Sword of Conan magazine size. I did get two covers. I'm only showing one in the quick flip. That was on there. I really been looking forward to this. Not everybody was, but I really do enjoy, this is the black and white. I'm probably going to do a full review on this at some point. This is something that Titan Comics put out. And I mean, look at that art.
Oh
That's
yeah.
some good. That is some good stuff right there.
Yeah.
And I love magazine size. I love the bigger stuff. You really get to enjoy it. So, some of the mainstream, and yes, I would consider Titan Comics mainstream, and then Dynamite. I still consider them mainstream. They're not the big three, but that's fine.
Wait, is that Dynamite or is that
This
Opus?
one's Dynamite.
Oh, nice.
See, it's
Yeah.
Dynamite. And
But that's a Frazetta
Fire
character,
and
right?
Ice, it's another good
Yeah.
one that's it's enjoyable. I've enjoyed it. This was a big week this week for me, but I get mainly all independent stuff. Image, Ablaze, Scout Comics, stuff like that. Image has had a lot of titles out recently, so most of my money goes through the Kickstarters, the Indiegogos, the FundMe, and I did get my Ghosts of Matacumba Key. So thank you, Graham. I mean, this is one that I will be reading really quickly. I actually can't wait to read it. But that's some of the big stuff that came out. There is some good mainstream stuff out there. I wouldn't consider Marvel or DC while they're mainstream. I see your point on that. But man, some of these other companies, they've got some good titles, some good stuff.
$5 super chat from Travis Perrick. Thank you very much. Zach, can you put your book out on Fund My Comic? I did back on Indiegogo, but it didn't fund. Well, we're going
Yeah.
to be speaking about that. And that is a good question. It is on Kickstarter. The link is in the description below. I'm sure somebody will post it here. I mean, we can get to that Fund My Comic, or I guess you can just answer it so we don't have to wait because it was $5. So go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I could put it on Fund My Comic, but I kind of reverted back to Kickstarter. The reason why I didn't put it on Fund My Comic is because Fund My Comic is somewhat, it's still technically a new platform. I had my feelings reserved on whether or not it was going to fund or still, even though the goal was at $500, due to the fact that I failed like 3 times. So this is my fourth go around. And if I was going to go ahead and give it a shot, I might as well do it on a platform that everybody knows. And, every campaign I've tried very different scenarios, outcomes, to try out, you know, what could work and what can't. And the I think the biggest problem for me is that I don't have an audience. I don't have a following. And,
Oops, let me do this real
so
quick.
no matter what advice I take and stuff, if I don't have people that know me, I'm not going to get my stuff out there. It's going to be extremely difficult. So
Well,
yeah,
I
I
think one
reverted.
of the things coming on shows like this, I mean, anybody that you can get on and talk, this looks great. I mean, I get why you're doing it on Kickstarter. I would say unless there's a reason not to, help fund, put it on Fund My. All Indiegogo, Fund My Comic, Kickstarter, they're all similar, but there is a different audience for each of them. And, I guess, this is what we're talking about too for our next one. It's kind of the same thing. Indiegogos are our bread and butter, but do we do Kickstarter? Do we do Fund My Comics? I think we're probably going to wind up, doing something with them. But, if you can, it might not. Why not do both? Actually, just what
And
Corey said.
I just backed it,
Oh,
so
thank
I'm
you.
looking forward to getting it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of oh damn it, where'd it go? I want to get it. Oh, here it is. Oop,
It's
God,
one of those
keep going.
things like I try, one of the biggest things is that I hear a lot of um complaining and like excuses and stuff. And what I said earlier definitely can
Do
be
this.
counted as for me making an excuse for why I went over to Kickstarter and not trying a different avenue. It's just at the moment, once I get past this book is pretty much done. People will get this in a couple months, and I'm kind of like reevaluating how I'm gonna take on this direction for this year. So like I'm gonna be submitting a lot of portfolios to editors. Hopefully I can get some published work this year. Try to see if I can build up an audience through that avenue. and then I'll come
Right.
back to crowdfunding. Because it's like when I graduated from the school, I went straight into crowdfunding, and it had a lot of difficulties that I faced. And I think I need to reverse that a little bit. Go see, go talk to editors, get some work through some published stuff and build an audience through that way. And then some of that stuff will trick on over to the crowdfunding scene.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's, you have to do what you think is right. That's for sure. I don't know if you have like, a website or anything like that. Because the one thing I would say with Fund My Comic, and they can correct me in the chat, is if you just put it up there, you can, I believe, you just leave it up for as long as you want, kind of like with the whole in demand thing on Indiegogo. Whereas, so at least it's somewhere people can go get it.
Right.
But if you have a website, you can always just put it there and then always just promote that. So, it's kind of, whatever you think is better to do in that regard. I backed it the first time. I just backed it this time because it's definitely funded. So I'm looking forward to getting it. Tell us a little bit about Voyage. I know you've been making the rounds and stuff. So
Voyage in its in its quick pitch is pretty much about that adventure that we all used to role play when we were kids with our action figures. With that in the classic hero's journey, you focus on this individual named Sonderon, who is pretty much tunnel visioned on this quest that he is forced upon in accomplishing, where he's got to find this artifact that is broken and spread out through the universe. And he's got to go and collect these pieces and unite it into this ancient spear. And, on his journey, he finds out that there's a lot that ties into the lore between the spear and his own species, his ancestors, that he has no knowledge of. So, and it's it's a lot that I tried to work on when I was at the Cuber School. I kept perfecting
sure.
that story over and over again. Pitched it to a lot of people in the school. Like Tom and Mandrake and Jan Dursama. I took a lot of notes to try to keep it separate because one thing that was pounded into my head is that yeah, you can go ahead and do a lot of art, but you got to find your niche when you leave. Otherwise, you're gonna just drown with the rest of other artists in the scene that's just going to be generalized. So I thought,
Mhm.
heading into the sci-fi aspect, in comic books would kind of be my niche away from everyone else. I noticed that there is a lack of sci-fi storytelling for comic books right now in the indie scene. So I wanted to fit in that section.
No, that's cool. I mean,
Yeah,
I told you this the first
Randy
time
said,
around. Oh,
yeah, FMC can be left up as a storefront. So, there you go. That might be maybe when this is done, put up FMC and then you can just leave it up there and keep working.
Yeah.
yeah. And what's up? Jimmy Reyes has joined the chat.
Hey,
Marcus, of
Jimmy.
course, says you could always send your portfolio to the other bigger CG creators who do the supplemental books. See if you get something that way. I mean, you
Agree.
might have
Yeah.
tried that. I don't know, but that's an idea.
I haven't
But
tried
I
it.
mean, I remember when we had you on before, with when you had the book up, and I was like, I think it looks cool. I think it looks fun, you
Yep, it
know.
does.
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting it and stuff. So
Oh, and I
yeah,
appreciate it. It's funny whenever I hear you guys, like you Andy, with like you had so many published stuff in the industry, along with like Corey Barton and stuff. Like all you guys are just talented up the ass with all the the things that you do. And then when I hear you guys like, oh yeah, your stuff looks really good. Like you should totally hit up these guys. I'm like. And I look at my work every day, and I'm like, I don't think that my work is like up to par with anybody, So it's always kind of like a thing that I'm always challenging myself. I'm like, no, I gotta send my stuff out there. It doesn't matter. Like, just give it a shot.
yeah, you got to get it out there. I mean, do you have a website? I don't even know.
I don't have a personal website. I do have a link tree that takes you to my social media accounts, and
Okay,
uh, so at the moment,
no, that's
I
good.
was I was planning on once this book gets done, then I'll set up my own personal website, because it's all I see it as for myself, and my logic could be wrong, where if I'm just like building up a website and I don't have like enough product to offer people, it's, what's the point of having a website? Just the people go there and just see
Well, I
people
mean,
images, and that's it.
I would say, oh, for a website, it's just a great place for your portfolio. I mean,
Mm,
I don't even look at it from the standpoint of product. I mean, okay, so you have just, say when it's all said and done, this one book. I mean, that's fine. You can always, use those drop ship places to create, take images that you think are cool and create different products to put on the site. But I was talking more from the standpoint of having a portfolio of your work up. So it's easy. So you can just be like, oh yeah, go to ZacharyMarois.com and check out whatever you would call the website. You can see all my work there.
right.
So, but I mean, the link trees, I'm sure you have an Instagram and all that. So, I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah.
all good. So people can check out all that. So, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And for those of you that are, just tuning in, or maybe a lot of people will watch this later, I left the Zackary's link for his Kickstarter and stuff in the description below. So if you can't see it while it's scrolling, you guys can just go click right on the link and head right over to the Kickstarter.
That's right. Definitely go check it out for sure.
See, yeah, Scott's is like a personal site will also let you explain your personal beliefs and philosophy. That resonates with some
Yeah.
people quite well, and it absolutely true.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, look, nothing wrong with social media. We all have it, but I like having the personal website as well, just to try and get, other work, if there's somebody out there, advertising wise or something comes in, so
Oh yeah.
plus if you do a Google search for, and your name is so unique, if you had your own website and somebody just typed it in for a Google search, first thing it would come up would be your website,
Yeah.
Yeah. And once this book comes to print, I will be setting that up. One of honestly my biggest hurdle that I'm trying to jump over right now is making sure that I do have this book in print, so that way all you guys can get it. And when I go to Garden State Comic Fest in Jersey this year at the
Oh, I'll see you there.
yeah, I want to see you guys again. Like, I miss all you guys. Like the party, the gathering, everything like that. It was so I had such a great time, and it's a personal
Mhm.
goal for me to get my stuff done. So because I talked about it last year, and I want you guys to go ahead and just tell me brutally what you think about it, and so it's just so we can all hang out again. Like I miss that, being at my
Sure.
table drawing constantly all the time. Being inside, I don't go out as often as I do, but when I do, I love I love just hanging out with everybody, and I miss that. So I can't wait for this year when you guys have it, and then we can all just have a good time again. And
Well,
that's what I'm looking forward to.
you won't see that schlub above me because for some reason he decided to take a family vacation that weekend like a dick.
That weekend
God
of
forbid
every
he goes, "Hey Andy, before I plan this family vacation, when is Garden State Comic Fest?" And I would go, like it always is, the week after Heroes Con.
It is not always the exact same week.
I
Week
gotta
after
say
Heroes
too.
Con.
I gotta say
It,
you're sporting the beard that you didn't have last year. It's quite an improvement.
are you talking to me?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
you
had
had
this
the
last year,
you had
Dennis. You
Yeah, I
you
was
had
didn't.
gonna
the
say
you had
this
the
is the
baby
new.
face last year.
So it's funny. My wife's still trying to get me to get rid of it, and yet I keep saying I'll mention it in the show and let people vote. It's overwhelmingly they want me to keep it. As a matter of fact, we just saw Bud Root a couple of weeks ago, and he came over and took a picture with me because he goes, he grew his goatee. He goes, I liked your goatee so much, I wanted to look like you. And he did. So we took our selfie, and it was pretty hilarious. So my wife wants me to get rid of it, but everybody else wants me to keep it. She goes, you look too much like your dad. My dad had a goatee for many, many years of his life. So I can see that point, but thank you. I'll put another notch on. Let's keep it.
Yeah,
You're like,
absolutely.
"Thank you," and now it makes sense when we're alone and you're like, "Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?"
Yeah. Now
And
I'll tell you, we got a trip planned. It's a 2-week trip, and we couldn't do it over Heroes. That's our local one we had to do, and we're going with friends of ours. And for each of us, these are the last couple of states that we need. We do this all the state capitals. So we are going all the way out west. We're hitting Sacramento, and I've done Carson City, and then we'll be finishing it up with Honolulu for the very last state capital. We've hit them all. So we've got a 2-week vacation planned, and we can only go when we can go. So yep, it wound up being the same week as Garden State. So I will be missing everybody at Garden State. So yeah, I guess you all have to come to Heroes Con to see us.
I remember I
that's
would
why I
say,
think of this. Oh! That is exact if you were here right now for that stupid lame-ass BS that just vomited all out of your mouth, I would do that to you.
last year it was funny because I remember you helping me out trying to find Pit issue #1. I was looking for it and I couldn't find it anywhere. Then I see one guy selling it for like $75. I think you were right
What?
next to me. Yeah, some guy was like, Dennis was right next to me. Some guy was like, I asked him, oh, can I get a first edition, Pit or something like that? And he's like, oh, I see it listed for $75. Then I see another guy. I was looking around all these booths. Nobody had it. Then one guy across had it for like, sold that, his first copy for like $3. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there you go. I'm like, what's he,
Dude, I
75
see
bucks?
Pit #1 and $2 boxes all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna
All
say
the time.
they're $2 to $5 pretty consistently. So the problem is there are people out there that will put stupid money on it. However, there are people out there who will then pay stupid money, which encourages this type of behavior. For example,
It
if
does.
you're looking for a comic and you do go onto eBay, oh yeah, well this is the cheapest one that's out there right now. Just go into the sold history so you can go down and see what have they been averaging selling. Just because everybody's selling it for stupid money doesn't mean it's worth it, because you
Hmm.
can find it, and that's usually the way it works.
What I don't
Right.
appreciate at all from, vendors is like I see comics like that they sell and just stuff that should be in like either like dollar bins or $5 or even like like 6 to 8, and I'm seeing them go for like $20 and up. Like I was going through some of those bins and I see like for example like Captain America issue 318 go for $20. I'm seeing and
Oh,
I see a lot of books that
Yep.
are just like they're nothing, they're not keys, they're just fillers, just keep the run going. And they're selling them for like stupid money. Like, and I'm like, what the hell? The only two titles that are expensive are Spider
right.
Man and Batman. And that's it. Like, any other titles outside of those two in the mainstream are like, you could get them for cheap. And if for independent comics, like anything that's worth money would have to be anything from, the first 10 issues of Bone to anything from the 50s and below for independent, like
Right.
EC stuff. And like, I don't understand this, like, this price jack up. It's kind of like, like you're deterring all these like young blood people that are just trying to break into the comic scene that's willing to drop like $100 or more at a convention, and they want to do it in bulk. They want to like bulk up and whatnot just to read anything that they have, and you ruin it for them.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's not just those guys. Marvel and DC are trying to capitalize on all of this back issue stuff. They've been putting out facsimile editions. As a matter of fact, I buy some of the really old stuff like the Batman, from way back when. That's kind of cool because I know I'll never own one. But like the other, what was it, last week or the week before? They did a facsimile edition for yeah, it is. they did a facsimile edition for Spider-Man 258. And I'm like,
No, it's
okay.
250. Wait. 253. Wasn't it 253?
No, 258 is the cover where the symbiote in the red and blue costume is trying to like take on Peter. It's his nightmare sequence.
Well, then it's 253 because
It's
253 is
253. It's
Puma.
just the issue after 252 where you see the
Oh yeah,
black
it is.
costume.
It's 250. It is. It's 253 because I'm looking at it going, you can find that stuff in at most conventions for like $10. And they're doing a facsimile edition because it's the first appearance of, drum roll, the Rose. Who cares? Who cares?
Really?
Nobody really cares. I'm like, of all the things you're going to reprint, that wouldn't be. They do get me every once in a while. I don't buy Marvel and DC anymore. I'm done. Unless they do something old because I'm an X-Men nut, right? So this is the foil edition. I bought this today, and only because they had one left. It was the foil edition of X-Men 268. I love this cover. I'm a huge, huge fan of this cover. I own many copies of the original, and I just love it. And it was in foil, and I'm like, son of a gun. It's like, why? But I'm like, the foil, it got me. So they're doing it. They're capitalizing. The other one they had today was Marvel Secret Wars, issue number 2.
Number 2.
Two. And I'm like, why? All because, there's something. But again, those books, number 2, they typically earn $10-$20 a piece. Who cares? It's not that big of a book. I mean, if I really want to get that issue, I can afford to go out and buy an actual back issue in great shape. I just don't understand it. They should be reprinting the old Fantastic Four. Print Fantastic Four 48, print 52, print 53, print old X-Men. Let's get, all these great old X-Men, old Avengers that are, first appearing. Do those. Just stop with all of the secondary stuff. And so Marvel and DC, they have so little confidence right now in their current titles that they are reprinting absolutely near worthless stuff that you can go out and buy just so that people hopefully buy some of those so that they can make profit. Don't get it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I think it's because of the fact that like Marvel and DC like don't make money off of their floppies. So what they do is they group that stuff in graphic novels and they make revenue off the graphic novels because that's what people buy. And they just, it's kind of like, yeah, let's get the floppies out because you're gonna have that audience of people that will get it, which is less and less as it goes on. But the real money it's a loss budget wise to the companies. The money that they really rake in is like when they group that stuff and they like reprint all the old things through graphic novels. Because
Right,
I
but now
forget
take for example what they just did with ROM. They put out ROM number 1 and they did a foil edition, and yep, I got sucked in on that one because ROM was one of my favorite comics as a kid. Got the whole series. But they followed that number 1 foil reprint and facsimile and the regular facsimile, but they were releasing the first of their omnibuses, which is what you're saying. That's where they're going to make all their money. So they got people interested in it by putting out an awesome reprint because ROM number 1's not a cheap book anymore, and they followed it up with a great omnibus. That makes business sense. This does not. Zed's right on top. The entire point of what they're doing is to destroy their legacies. They want money only in as much as allows them to publish subversive material. And yeah, all their new stuff there is why I don't buy it, because it is all garbage.
I gotta be honest, dude. I've read every Spider-Man book like from the day it started going, every issue of all those series and stuff. And oh my god, dude! Like I just picked up today this stupid gang war title thing that they got going on. Like,
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I do not blame the talent team. I blame the freaking company, the corporate end, because like at the end of the day, they're the ones now that has the final say, and they're ones that are telling them like we want this, make it happen. It doesn't matter what you're doing, but you got to get from this point to there. So now the talent team is going to be like, well, shit, like how the hell are we going to make this fucking work? And, and I hear stories from like Tom Mandrick where he would tell me, and it probably Andy, probably the same thing with you too. Like even though you did a lot of artwork, you probably also had some creative say into like what you were able to do in the stuff that you were able to do. So Tom would you tell me when he was working on the Spectre and the Martian Manhunter in the
Mhm.
90s, he would tell me he's like, oh well, they would give him the thing, and him and John Ostrander would be like, all right, just do whatever you want for the series, like just make sure that you hit these
Right.
certain points, but for the most part try to develop the character as best you can. And
Right.
that's just and you give the talent team a control like that, they will respectively hold true to the true essence of what makes those characters who they are individually. Um so yeah, dude, I blame the corporate stuff, because they're the ones that really ruin everything. I don't blame John Romita Jr. or Scott Hanna or anybody else.
Oh, no, those guys are, look, those guys, I don't blame any of the most, I don't blame most of the creatives, some of them, but, they're collecting a paycheck, doing their job and stuff.
Hmm.
But I mean, guys, if you want to get a good book, you need to go out and back Voyage. Randy just posted the link. I mean, come on, look at, let's see, look at that little 6-month-old baby.
Oh, I thought you
Do
were
you
talking
want
about
that baby
me.
to be able to eat? Do you want that baby to have new clothes? Come on, back
Oh
this
yeah,
book.
that's perfect
Feed,
timing. She's playing it up.
Yeah, she
feed
just
the
cried.
baby.
She just cried at that 1 second.
I
Just that.
know. Feed, help feed the baby by backing this book. 11.59. That's good. You got 3 more. It was 30. What was it? 32 or 30. So there you go. A couple more backers. We're getting there. I mean, I'm one of them, but that's all good.
No, I
Guys,
appreciate it. Thank you.
it's a great looking book. We said it the first time when we had you on. That's why I was kind of bummed to see it didn't go through. I think it just looks fun. And guys, not every comic book has to be super serious or some dramatic. This has a huge fun element to it. I love sci-fi. I love fun books. I think this is great. I can't wait for it. So, I've been kind of crossing my fingers. So guys, help back this. Let's get this thing completely funded.
I think the sci-fi genre personally is, and I could be wrong, but I think personally it's on this horizon that it's about to make like a comeback because, and just in general, you got, the government and whoever just, oh, UFO sightings here. Then you got, aliens, this and that for UFO declassified documents and all that stupid thing. And then you have, in comics, you had that book done by Image, which was Voyages by Sume Kesjin, which was really good. And you have We Only Hear Them When They're Dead or When They're Dying, which was another Image book, which I think it was Image, or could be Boom or something. It was also really, so I see some decent titles. Uh, so I love the whole sci-fi thing that there's more and more titles. I mean, hell, Resident Alien is having a new season renewed, and I'm like pretty
I
stoked
know.
on
I
seeing
was
that.
surprised about that. I love it.
I keep forgetting it's on Netflix now. So I got to start watching. I've never watched it, but now that it's on Netflix,
Well, and take a look
I
at
can binge it.
Dune. Dune
Yep.
sci-fi, and number one was great. We just rewatched number one in prep for number two coming out. Number two's hitting the theaters, and guys, this looks great. And again, I think you're right. If there's good sci-fi shows, because there hasn't been a lot of
Right.
great sci-fi. There's been a lot of woke, some garbage that's come out.
Mm-hmm.
It's waning, just like the superheroes are waning now because people are tired of it. It's overdone, and the stuff they're putting out's terrible. So it leads to new genres. I agree. I think sci-fi will be on the rise. So if there's good sci-fi out there, people will want to read it.
I mean, the thing,
Yeah.
the best thing that I pitch about, which is funny, is that for Voyage, the best thing to describe Voyage in a nutshell is, wouldn't you want to see the Predator in his own film where there's no humans and he's hunting other different species, or he's in a faction control takeover or something in his own film that has nothing to do with Earth? Go read Voyage or something. I'm scared, because dude, we're the storytelling that we are capable of doing. We're able to go ahead and relay human emotions and human uh, uh I forget the human involvement. I could be wrong in saying it,
Yeah,
but people can connect with an alien as a leading character. They can, as long as you just
right.
tell the story right. That's all that's all you got to do.
I think seeing a Predator movie where it takes place on his home planet and it's the Predator that originally came in the first movie.
Hmm.
It's set, and let's say he was 30 years old, right? But it takes place on his home planet when he's like 15, and he's got an abusive predator father, and his mom's a whore on Predator World. And this is why he grows up to be the way he is. And he was bullied, and he's like, that's it. I don't need this crap. I'll show them who I am. And he steals the ship and he comes to Earth trying to kick ass. And then he fails miserably because Arnold hides in mud, and back on the home planet, his father's watching everything, and his dad's like, I told you that kid was a disappointment. I'm glad he's gone. And then he looks over, and the whore mother's just banging some John on the freaking sofa because the dad gets no respect. That's the Predator movie I want to see.
Wow, yeah, the social workers show up at his house, and they have to. He's got is his laser beam sitting on his shoulder with the three dots as they're walking in, and then you hear the song in the background. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys.
That's right.
I see
That's what
so
I'm
much good
talking.
stuff coming out. I would love to see stories from heavy metal kind of take the screen. Imagine seeing
Right.
Richard Corbin's like stuff that he did,
Oh
just
yeah.
take this. Oh my God, dude.
Hey, well, I tell you what, if they ever make a Den movie, I got it all. I'm bald. I'm hung. I just need that fake tan, and I could play Den. And I'm willing to shave the goatee for the role. So if anybody
If
wants to make a Den movie, I'm your guy. Just spray on a tan.
I thought if Sonderon was ever a live action film, I would definitely have Doug Jones play him, while the voice actor of Spawn from the HBO series would voice him.
Hmm. You know what? I meant to tell Dennis this yesterday. I totally forgot. You know what I watched my first episode of a series from the 90s ever yesterday. And I fast forward, or not fast forward, I skipped ahead. I didn't start with season 1, episode 1. I jumped ahead. I think it's episode 9 of X-Men 94, or the Alpha Flight episode where they come to take Wolverine back. I've never watched
Oh,
an episode of that cartoon until yesterday.
the animated series was fantastic.
That's what I watched. And I will say, it was okay. I'm not sure I'll go back to watch anymore. It was okay.
No, you should. If you enjoyed the comics, it was great. The X-Men did put out a pretty cool take on it, which normally I'm not into that, but they did X-Men Evolution, when they were all together in
Oh,
high
yeah.
school. That was a fun take. But man, that the X-Men animated series was so good. It was very close to the comic books. I mean, you just loved it when the Sentinels came, and and then you're dealing with the mutant hunters with Bishop in that time frame in Cable.
Oh, wow.
It is just some
Spoiler
great
alert.
stuff.
Maybe I want to watch them and
Well,
you're
good. Now
spoiling
you know what
everything.
to watch. So get your butt and watch some good TV versus that crap you're watching now.
They're doing that whole thing where they're revitalizing X-Men. Really
Yep.
hope they revitalize Spider-Man from the 90s, because that show was really, really good. I used to love watching that in Kids WB growing up. Like, and like that ran for like what, 65 episodes, like something like that. It was
I'm
it
not
was
even
a good
sure.
it was a good run. And man, dude, I like to see that revitalized.
All true. Look at that. Randy's exactly right. We've seen the pictures. Rogue has a well-defined butt in that cartoon, unlike the X-Men 97 by Disney. Dude, I just saw a great one where, it's Apocalypse standing over Rogue, and Rogue with the nice curvy butt. And then here's today's version. And you see Rogue standing up with Apocalypse laying on the ground with his nice curvy butt.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. I've seen the literal I've seen the comparisons of the shot you're talking about where she does. She's got a pretty fine looking tush going on. And then it's compared to a back shot of her just, I guess, from the trailers. That's all that's been released. And it's just like, oh my God.
The memes from the cartoon is great. Like, because one thing you could always count on is like when something like that happens, just start surfing the memes.
Yep. Totally. Oh my God. It's just so funny. Well, guys, go and back Zach's book. It is funded. It will be delivered. Help this guy out. Get this first book out there. We definitely want to see more. Feed that baby. Come on. She needs to grow. He's holding a 5-year-old right now. That kid needs food.
Oh,
she's
man.
5. Okay, she's 6 months, but still, it's going to a good cause.
Dude, I gotta tell you, like, I tried every time I feed her, I'm trying like these, these baby Gerber jars, right? Just trying different flavors or whatever they got. I gotta tell you, they're fucking gross. I'm gagging on like some of these things. I'm like, and she likes this, like. The only good jar, the good food jar that I like, I'm like, okay, this actually tastes pretty well. Is the banana one. All the other flavors are just like nasty as hell.
Well, that's because they probably don't have any of the artificial crap in it. So we taste it. We're like, oh my God, what is this?
Exactly.
I tell you what, just don't get her hooked on sugar. As hard as it is with the kid, just limit that when she finally is to the age where she can have candy and stuff. Cause,
I came from my mother used to be a dentist. So like, I totally get that. Like, I'm not a fan of sugar. Like, there's some things that I like, but I mean, because I had when I was born, I had like a cleft lip palate, so I had like this. I got an underbite going on for it, so my mother had to become a dentist to figure out what was going on with my mouth. So I had to learn, very thoroughly, like, what is like, like too sugary, like what it does and whatever. And, oh yeah, dude, she don't need that stuff. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So cool. Well, guys, go back this book. And while we're talking about stuff, of course, we've got a few little things. Kor-Drath the Awakening, guys. Sign up page is live. Go sign up for the continuing saga of Kor-Drath and Adriana. You're definitely going to want to check this out. Go sign up, back the book, get the free Adriana trading card colored by Kelsey Shannon, and you'll get front of the line shipping. So you definitely want to go check that out. And that will be launching the first week of April. There's a nice big shot of the trading card. We've got the cover by myself and, of course, Dandy Dan Lawless. And then, of course, we've got a homage cover there. And
that's
Bud.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Oh,
and
no,
Bud
I really
Root.
like that.
Oh, dude. Seriously, I really appreciate it. It was fun, that's for sure. And Bud Root is hard at work on an Adriana cover. So that's right, an Adriana trading card, Adriana cover by Bud Root. So definitely go check that out. And guys, I spent all day yesterday working in the program InDesign, putting this book together, getting it ready for the printer. I've got a few pages left. I've got to fill with nice and tight pencils by me. Check it out. Oversized book. $8,479, 113 backers at 9,000. It goes to wire, nice wire binding so you can wrap it back on itself, lay it nice and flat. Great book for art enthusiasts. It comes in a digital form. There's also the Art of Andy Smith sketchbook, originally 64 pages. I'm adding 20 pages to it, making it 84 pages. So go check this out, guys. This will be coming down soon. You can get this trading card, which was for people that signed up and backed it. But if you didn't, $4. I had to add $1 for shipping, so I get your mailing address. So basically $5 gets you the little trading card. Go check that out as well. Really appreciate it. We will be back, of course, Friday morning with another movie review. Dennis, what are we seeing tomorrow night? Let's see if you remember.
We are seeing Ordinary Angels.
Yes, we are. It is
not seeing Dune.
Not yet.
Yeah. So I may wind up having to see that over this weekend because I don't think I can wait that long, especially after having just watched it. But we really wanted to see this movie last week, but they canceled our tickets right before we were leaving because they had a scheduling conflict. Don't ask me how theaters can have scheduling conflicts at the last minute. But nonetheless, we are going to go see it because we really want to see it while it's still in theater. And then maybe this weekend I may wind up having to go see.
Well, I'll go see Dune with you this weekend. I just didn't want to see a 3-hour movie tomorrow.
Oh.
So
I don't want to stay up till 8.
Hey. At least when we go see Dune, I'll be able to stay in the seat the whole time and not miss any of it, you pussy. Dennis has to go to the bathroom every hour on the hour. That means 3 times during a 3-hour movie.
Wait, let me guess.
I have a bladder like
let me guess. When he comes back, he's like, "What happened? What I missed?"
Never.
Oh, he's always like, "Tell me what happened," and everybody's like, "Shut up! You shouldn't have got up."
Look at Pinocchio. You're having to digitally shrink your nose right now. No. I will say this: I always get a bladder than you. Large 44-ounce soda, and I not only drink it once, I usually go back for a refill. So, guys, I'm putting like 80 some ounces in me. I will have to go to the bathroom, as probably most people out here do. Andy sits there, drinks nothing,
please,
and then literally,
you know what?
Lives in a desert for 2 hours beforehand, ripping all the water out of his body. So no,
just go. No. You know what? Get a catheter. Get where depends. Just keep him at the house, and when you know it's a long movie, slap it on. Nobody will be able to tell from what they say in the commercials. You can stroll right in and just let it go while you're watching the movie.
Whoa, no, never. Why? Because they have Pib Zero, my favorite. It's the only place in town that has that. And
oh my God, Pib! Wait, Zackary, have you even? You're 28. You probably don't even know what Pib is. You're like, what is he talking about,
Mr. Pib?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of clueless on that. Pib, never heard
of it. Like most normal human beings are.
It sounds like some backwater, Alabama, Mississippi, weird ass soda.
There's more transgender people in this country than the people that drink Pib. I'm just saying.
Wow. I'm just done with you. Go. Oh man, the Minute Man. Yeah, I don't think. Hey, I was just gonna mention Tab. That's Andy's drink of choice.
I don't drink Tab.
Tab.
I mean, I'd rather deal with a guy who has to get up and piss than deal with somebody who's sitting watching a movie and they're gonna ask you while the movie's going on, like what's going on or like what just happened or I'm like, dude, just shut up.
You just described Dennis all rolled up in one.
You're full of crap. I don't even talk during the movies. I do not. However, we have been to movies where there were people that literally talked through the entire movie, and I'm just like, what the hell are you even doing here? Just get up and leave.
I know, and that's why I ask you, I beg you to leave your wife at home, but sometimes you won't do it.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm gonna be seeing just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna be smoking a ton of pot and going to see Madam Web at 10 o'clock tonight.
We already saw it, so maybe that'll help you.
I do.
We already saw it. If you want to see our review, go to one of our channels. You can, but just go watch it.
Yeah,
and maybe the pot will help.
we were neither high nor drunk, and wow, that is all I'm gonna say is and for those of you that wanted to know, because Green Lantern movie was my least favorite superhero movie until now. It's not even close. Green Lantern was a masterpiece by comparison. And after having just watched Aquaman 2, I was like, wow, this is bad. No, hold my beer.
You know, Andy, you being a Green Lantern fan, dude, I'm waiting for a Green Lantern movie myself too. I really cannot wait to see, because like, dude, like what we had last time, that was a sham. And like Green Lantern has a great rogue of villains. And
Oh yeah.
it's not that hard. It's really not that hard with what we're capable of. I'd like to see Martian Manhunter, come on the big screen.
Yep.
Like that whole, bullshit ass. Like, sorry, it could be controversial, but Cyborg's just not a fucking Justice League member at all to me.
No, Cyborg should never have been in the Justice League.
No.
What a freaking joke.
That was some BS. And I
They
was like,
should have.
dude,
It's like,
Martian
look,
Manhunter
I get it.
Should have been there.
They wanted a diverse cast. I don't have a problem with it. Great. Put John Stewart Green Lantern in.
Same thing. Yeah, exactly.
He's been around a hell of a lot longer. Well, yeah, he's been around longer. He's just more popular. But no, they put Cyborg in.
Who's your favorite Lantern? Is it Hal?
Oh yeah, it's Hal. It's the main guy. Yeah.
For me, it's Kyle Rayner. I really love.
I like
Rayner.
Kyle Rayner too.
His
I like
design
Kyle.
was sick. Like, and honestly, like even John Stewart,
I like Kyle, but
I can't because they don't make them in cans and stuff here. They do up north, but not here. It's only in the large fountains at the theater, so can't send you one.
Hey, no, you can. When you're leaving the theater, refill the cup, take it home, empty out a water bottle, pour it in, tight the cap really well, mail it on out.
Yeah, because that'll taste great. Now, I actually want them to know what it tastes like, not what some flat
shit.
boring,
it tastes like shit. So it doesn't matter.
God, you are the worst. You are.
Did you just say I've never tasted Pibb, Mr. Pibb? Yes, I have. That's why I know it tastes like shit.
You have? Well,
yes, that's why I know it tastes like shit.
You don't drink Tab, so
all I know is I'm just glad I was around for the what do you call it? The was it Danimals? No, it was like the Go-Gurt stuff that they discontinued. I think it was Danimals. I don't see that stuff anymore.
Nope.
Oh my god. It's really hard to talk
cuisine.
It's so hard to talk to him because he's talking about stuff that obviously wasn't around when we were growing up. And
it's what my kids had because dude,
you were literally. Oh my god! I just realized. Are you 29 this year, or did you already turn 28?
I'm going to be turning 29 in October.
My kid's going to be 21. You were literally old enough to date my daughter. I don't even know how I'm talking to you right now. You're talking about stuff. I feel like I could have changed your diaper,
dude. I'll tell you right. Like, I feel like once I got out of high school, that's when social media really started swarming in.
Sure.
And, really taking everything by wave. But yeah, man, like seeing a lot of kids that are younger than me, it's kind of like they're like aliens to me. Like, I don't know anything that they're doing. Like all this stupid slang that they're talking about. And I'm like, and I feel like I'm a grown ass adult, even though I know I'm not.
You watched Barney. You can admit it.
No, I watched Bluey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Blue's Clues.
That's funny. I dated a girl whose nickname was Bluey.
Blue's Clues with Steve was good. Actually, I think my jam was when I was a baby, I think my jam was actually, I think it was like Chalk Zone. It was like, yes, like younger Nickelodeon stuff, like Chalk Zone and whatnot.
Pibb free? Do I need to block you from the channel? Get out of here with that. All right. On that note, I need to go eat dinner. Zackary, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad the campaign is funded this go around, and selfishly, I'll be able to get the book. But more importantly, I really hope, you get more stuff going after this and whatnot, because, you got talent, kid.
Thank you.
I don't want to see it go to waste. So,
Yep. Don't make Daddy angry. So you get this book out because we're looking forward to it.
Keep pushing, guys. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, Ordinary Angel movie review Friday morning. We'll be back next Wednesday at 3:00, unless Dennis sends me a message early in the morning saying, "Oh, my wife has some stupid doctor's appointment I have to take her to." Like she comes first. I don't know his relationship values are way off the chart. Bye, everybody.
Peace out.
Luck and prosper.
Nice and Tight, the comic book pencil art of Andy Smith. That's me. This book features 52 pages of some of my favorite full pencils that I did for other companies over the past 2 decades. The raw pencils as they were seen by the inker, and now you can see them for the first time. This book also comes in a digital format so you can practice your inking in your favorite program. Back it today.